move on to our second speaker of the night. Is that me? So we are now going to be introducing the founder and CEO of KinkyCurlyYaki. And her 3 fun facts are very straightforward and simple. And I don't know if I agree with this first one. Actually, in fact, I do not. But she hates Vegas. I don't know. But she loves jumping off cliffs. And the third one I definitely do agree with. She likes to rap her ass off to the Humpty dance. The Humpty dance is dance. Something like that. So please welcome Vivian Kaye.
Hi, how's everyone doing tonight? Good. Well, my name is Vivian Kaye. I am the founder and CEO of KinkyCurlyYaki. I know if there's some sisters or brothers in the audience, y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Is there any? All right. But what it is I sell textured hair extensions for Black women. So I sell wigs and clip-ins. So half of what you see on the TV with Beyonce and all, that's all weave. It's all wigs. It's all a facade. And so that's what I sell. What I sell are textures for women working in environments like Shopify or RBC or whatever it is to blend in. It's a thing. I won't even go down that hole, but it's a thing amongst us Black women. So I've been doing this particular business for about 6 years. In total, I've been an entrepreneur for 12. But by no means, I have no education. I have no background. I just make shit up as I go along, which I really believe has been a part of my success. What I'm going to share tonight are a number of my fuck-ups. And I just want to point out I am so excited to be cursing. I'm going to share a number of my fuck-ups. I've got them bullet pointed so I don't tell too many. But basically, I'm also a mom. I'm a single mom to a 4-year-old son. And again, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur. So how do I go forward? Okay, so this is the story of how I started fucking up. So this is me. You can't see me. Black people were notorious for this. You can't see, but there I am. Basically, I'm one of 4 girls, and I'm number 2, and number 1 was getting married. She had hired a decorator, as you can see, and the decorator said, I'll do everything for $500. And then the week before her wedding, she said, I need another $500 to do this shit job. And so then. After all was said and done, I'm like, you know what? We don't need much. Like, we're not complicated people. I'm living in Mississauga at the time, and I don't think it's that complicated. So I'm going to come up with a company where all I do is decor, and I just make it simple. So I would ask my brides, they're like, they were scared. They were only spending $3,000 on decor when they're used to seeing people spending down payments on. Well, this was 15 years ago. Down payments nowadays are, spending down payments on their houses on decor. So I would say, do you remember the last wedding you went to? Do you remember if it was pretty? Yes. But do you remember what the decor looked like? No, you just remember it was pretty. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make it look pretty so people remember it was pretty. They're not gonna remember the specifics that, I got your vote as a Dollarama, but they're gonna remember it was pretty. Right? So that's what I had set out to do. So again, I had no background, I just made, like I said, I made shit up as I was going along. This is not a representation of my decor. Oh, no. I thought I previously had a slide of my beautiful decor. But basically, I made that into a 6-figure business, making shit up as I went along. While I was, plugging along in this business, it was great, it was awesome. I fucked up my 9 to 5. So I got a little cocky, started working on my website, doing the HTML while at my job. It was, I had a really chill boss because I was a one-person marketing department. So I had a really chill boss. My boss would be like, as long as you get shit done, I don't care. So guess what Vivian was doing? Calling brides, answering emails, doing all that stuff. But then my chill boss decided to go leave for another chill company. And then a corporate soldier was brought in. So when those corporate soldiers come in, it's over. So basically, the corporate soldier came in. He was not cool with me working on my side hustle at the 9 to 5. And he used it as ammunition to fire me. Sorry, to let me go. I got laid off. So basically, the lesson here is if you have a 9 to 5, don't shit where you eat. Work on, because it may force you out before you're ready. And, I would strongly advise you work on your side hustle on your own time. Especially, this was back in 2009. So, we weren't as savvy phones, data on phones was too expensive, so I had to do it on the computer. But, if you're doing it on your company's phone, don't do that shit. Don't do it at all. Okay, and then my fuck up turned my side hustle into my full-time hustle and then started another side hustle. I hope that makes sense, right? So here I am looking cute and shit, with Vivian's decor. I was meeting brides. I was doing a whole thing. I decided to cut off all my relaxer. If you guys don't know, Google it. It's a whole thing where black women basically make their hair straight to fit in. And I got tired of that shit. So, we wear a lot of wigs and weaves to protect our hair because our hair isn't suited for this climate. We're from Africa and the Caribbean. We're used to that humid, hot stuff. We can't do this minus 34 and leave our froze out. Doesn't work. So what I did was, so what I was doing was I'd meet with brides from all different backgrounds, and I felt I needed to look presentable. But when you were going to the beauty supply stores, I was finding that it was all shiny Nicki Minaj shit, like stuff down your ass, blonde. It doesn't blend. I wasn't doing the whole African in the front and Indian in the back. I was tired of that. And so then, for my own, so I had a personal problem that I needed to solve. So I started researching textures that I felt was authentic on me and looked believable on me, and people wouldn't ask me where I bought my hair. So I had this one, very similar, I'm wearing a wig right now. Don't ask to see it later. But basically, I was wearing some hair to an event similar to this, and a sister pulled me aside and was like, girl, who did your hair? Who was the hairdresser? What's your regimen? I'm like, girl, it's a wig. And so then she was like, oh man, I would totally buy that. Light bulb. She would totally buy that. And so then again, another thing that I thought, okay, well, if I like it and she likes it, there's got to be a whole heap of people that probably like it. So that's how I started KinkyCurlyYaki. So in the down season from Vivian's Decor in December of 2012, I started KinkyCurlyYaki, and by 2014, I was doing over $600,000 in sales a year. And this is, again, I made shit up. I started off on Big Cartel. I was like, okay, I was like robbing Peter to pay Paul type thing, but I made it happen. And by 2014, I have another fuck up, but it's not really a fuck up, but it could be considered a fuck up. But by March of 2014, I fucked up and had a baby. So. So, I needed help with forecasts. I'm not a numbers person. I needed help with that. So that's what this guy. So that brings me to my second fuck up. I fucked up by partnering with my baby daddy. So, so by March of 2014, I'd given birth to my son. And my SO at the time was actually the accountant for Vivian's Decor. So, we were getting together, we were doing it. And, I fucked around and got pregnant, right? So, and because he was already into numbers and everything, he saw how well the business was doing. He was all like, ooh, baby, ooh, I can help you with your business. Let's incorporate. Let's have a family. Let's do all that shit. And Vivian fell for it. Even though he'd come in on it, sorry, no. Anywho, so we incorporated. I swear, no pun intended. We incorporated in February of 2015, and then by July 2016, let's just say I incorporated in February. By July, he left. So he left me, sorry, this is the emotional part. So he left me and my son. His son, sorry, he just decided he had a whole other family actually in another province, and that's what he decided that he decided that's where he needed to go. And this is in the middle of, of KCY doing really well. I have a new baby, and this motherfucker up and leaves. So, it took, I had to unfortunately start a legal process to get his fucking name off of my books. Because he was incorporated. I couldn't get any loans. I couldn't get any of that. So I had to start a legal process to get him out of my business. I had foolishly given him 40%. And so then I had to fight to get it all back. And in August of 2017, I regained 100% control over my business. So the lesson here is be careful who you partner with. Successful businesses and partnerships are an exception. They're not the rule. If you can go it alone, do that. Don't keep business, personal. And then my most recent fuck up. KCY is doing really well. Oh my God, I started a rebrand. I got a company in, and they helped me refresh the brand to elevate it because like I said, I bootleggedly started KCY. So I brought in a brand, and they did so well on the brand refresh. I'm like, oh my God, here, do my website and do a brand reshoot, like do all the photos and everything. I was on set. I walked in, I'm like, I'm not really feeling this, but it's really organized, so I'm just gonna let it go, and I dropped $10K on doing all this. I'm sitting there, I'm not feeling it, the music's way too chill. I'm like, I don't know. And then like at about 3 hours in, I had to jump in, change the music. Okay, ladies, let's get some energy. And by the time I'd gotten all the content, after everything was photoshopped and all this shit, this is what it looked like. And I looked at it and I was like, I spent $10K, I'm gonna swallow it and go. Then the video came in, and I was like, oh, fuck no. I noped the fuck out. I was like, nope, absolutely not. I did not come this far for my website to look like this, or for the models to look like this. So I had to do it again. I did it again. I made sure that I put my everything into it, because I literally started from the bottom. Now I'm here. Okay, in that same 2016, where that man, which was ironic because he was like, oh, I want to build with somebody who's going to make $1 million a year. After he left, 2016, made my first $1 million. 2017, I did $1.2 million. And this is from someone I am not your typical. I literally made this shit up. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I did it. So, the lesson from that is if you have a vision, it's your vision. You can't get anybody else to see your vision. It's yours. So that's my recommendation there. So, despite all these fuck ups, I already said that. My son, he's 4, he's awesome. He wants a YouTube channel. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk on my way in. I might as well do it. But basically, just because you fucked up doesn't mean you're a fuck up. So, fucking up gives you the confidence to make changes so that you don't fuck up again. And it also gives you the courage to stand up in front of a bunch of strangers and admit that, say it with me, you fucked up. Thank you. And I wouldn't do anything differently. I wouldn't.
Thank you, Vivian. That was awesome. Very, very lively. I loved it.
That's what Vivian means.
Yeah.
Lively.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So much material there to get some awesome, juicy questions. So we're going to move into the Q&A now. So again, if you have a question, just raise your hand. We have some runners that are going to come by.
Hi, Vivian. That was absolutely excellent. Thank you. So entertaining. I'm just curious because you are saying you made most of your stuff up. When did you first enroll help, and who was that help? Like, who was integral in helping you get where you are today?
So after my baby father left, I went to and I've been looking for help, but I'd started my business in my home, and I had a baby, and I moved it to my basement. So I needed, if I was going to have someone in my house, I needed to be able to trust them. So my baby father was always like, you got to hire. And I was like, no, when the time's right, I'll know. So I just walked into a beauty supply store to buy something, and there was the most helpful girl. And I said, I want to hire you. If you're interested, let me know. So for me, it's like I move off of intuition. So, in women, we need to trust that. Like, you always know when something's not off, like when something's off or something's not right. You need to trust that. So, with hiring, you just need to hire slowly and fire quickly. That's another one of the lessons I left off, one of my fuck-ups I left off. But yeah, did I answer your question? Yeah, great.
I love your shoes, by the way.
Thank you.
Look at those shoes.
I can completely relate to, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. But are there ever days when you do know what you're doing?
Sometimes when I like, you see, like, I live in my own head a lot, and I live in Hamilton, so I tend to stay in my office and do what I need to do and talk on the internet, and that's it. So when I saw the reaction that you guys had to the new photos, I was like, I do know what I'm doing. So it's not a constant thing. But there are some times when I get to speak at, I get to do opportunities like this, and it's like, I must be doing something right. What it is that we're in our own heads too much. And we need to, talk to other people and get some feedback, because this makes me want to, like, this website's not live. It's been delayed for like a year just because of that shoot. The first shoot happened in August, the reshoot happened in December, then Black Friday happened, so it's been, the launch date is supposed to be the 29th of May, so you've just, like, it gives me, like, the reaction gives me the push I need to finish this website. Thank you guys for that.
Other questions? Got one there.
So I am not in your target market at all, but I do have a very complicated relationship with my hair, and I think that it's such an emotional thing. It's such a driver of your self-confidence, and so because that's the essence of your business, I'm just wondering, have you ever had a fuck up with someone who's been a client or whatnot, and how did you overcome that?
Well, if there's Black women in the audience, you guys know that we are very, very protective of our hair. In the States, even more so, like, it's their life. So sometimes, they're like, it's life and death with a lot of, and especially in the US where they're all about this. So I can't say that I've had any specific fuck ups, but I've had a lot of people fuck up their hair and then blame us. And you know what? All we can say is, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Love it. I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. Kind of in the same vein as some of those first ones, but I love how you kept referring to like, I keep making shit up, because I think that's a big part of entrepreneurship, as I'm discovering too. But I was just wondering if you could like extrapolate. Is that how you say it? Extrapolate.
I want to go ahead and define that. Extrapolate.
If you could expand on that a little bit in terms of like, what's the mentality you need to keep moving forward, even if you don't know what's going on, or like processes or like best tips, just anything that you can expand on.
Honestly, like I wish I could bottle up all I know and all I feel and sell it, but you can't. You just have to have it in you. If you, like, you know, it's like those days, I sort of compare it to working out. You know those days you just don't feel like working out? But if you keep pushing yourself to do it, eventually you're gonna get better. So I kept fucking up and fucking up and fucking up, and I'm still fucking up, and I fucked up yesterday, I fucked up this morning, and I just keep doing it. Like I don't let the fuck-ups slow me down. I get into my emotions, I let myself have that, like I was depressed. When my son's father left, I was depressed because it felt like, how is it that I have $1 million company but I can't keep a man? Like that's really, that shakes your confidence. So if you have to have that strength within you, it's not about you know, downloading this and going to that conference, and you just have to have that. I don't even know how to. You just have to have that.
Fire.
If you I think you got it. You got it.
Fire.
Yeah, you got it.
Fire. I like it. One more question. One more juicy question. Anybody? Come on. Anybody? Where? Oh, we got one.
So I might as well speak because I'm a sister in the audience. I think your business is amazing, and the story was just absolutely brilliant. My question is, did you have any kind of like fuck-ups in terms of raising capital for your business? Because like, how did people like invest in it? Like, how did you sell that off to them? Like, I have a business selling kinky curly hair. Like, how do you get like people on board on your idea?
I have no investors. I literally made this shit up. You know, it's funny because last year I had, like I said, my baby father was also my accountant, so he was supposed to be doing the books, but it turns out he wasn't. So then I had to hire a guy to clean up the books. And while we were cleaning up the books, I had an investment firm approach me and said, "You're doing all the right things, da 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 da. What can we do? Like, how much money do you need, and when can we give it to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what? I just literally made this shit up." Right? So I haven't had that. So right now, because of all that fucked up shit, I'm just now in the process of cleaning all that up, because one of the things that's actually holding me back right now from hitting 3 million is money. But in order to get money, I need to clean up the shit that he created. So that's what that fuck up is doing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Vivian. That's great.